What's up, YouTube? This is Mathos97 and welcome to episode number 67 of my WWE 2K15 Universe Mode. And we are here with the Over the Limit pay-per-view event. So let's take a look at the match card for this one. As we can see, United States Championship up for grabs in a triple threat match between Cesaro, Curtis Axel, and Alberto Del Rio. Tag team titles are on the line as the winners of the #1 contenders tournament, the Ascension, will take on the Wyatt family. Intercontinental Championship matchup between the champ Titus O'Neil and the challenger Goldust. Dolph Ziggler defends his World Heavyweight Championship against the former champ, Captain Charisma Christian. Adrian Neville will go one-on-one with Bo Dallas after weeks and weeks of feuding between those two. Paige defends her Divas Championship against the former champion who lost her title at Extreme Rules, Brie. And in the main event, CM Punk defends the WWE title against the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. So without further delay, let's go ahead and kick off this pay-per-view event with the United States Championship triple threat matchup. And we are coming to you from Seattle, Washington for this event. This is going to be a big one. Huge pay-per-view in store for all of you watching at home. And, of course, it's got to be something special when we're kicking things off with the King of Swing, Cesaro. As, yes, Cesaro, he defeated Alberto Del Rio at WrestleMania to win the US title. He defeated Del Rio again last month at Extreme Rules. And ever since he's won that US title, Cesaro has been very impressive. He's just been winning the majority of his matches, and he's been looking very dominant, showcasing his power. So obviously Cesaro, he's going to be utilizing that power offense in this triple threat matchup tonight. And now coming up down to the ring is this man, the former United States champion, Alberto Del Rio, who of course is a submission specialist. So he'll be utilizing his submission holds, his technical ability, and as well as that, he will try to utilize those deadly, vicious kicks that he possesses. So if you're Cesaro, if you're Curtis Axel, you're going to want to have to try to avoid those kicks. Cesaro knows that very well from their previous 3 encounters, dating back to their first matchup in Elimination Chamber. Since then, Cesaro and Del Rio, they have gone to war with each other on numerous occasions, and tonight spells the final chapter in that rivalry. But this time it's a bit different. Curtis Axel being brought into the mix as well after Alberto Del Rio attacked Curtis Axel following their tag team matchup in the opening round of the #1 contenders tournament against the Shield. Curtis Axel, decimated by Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, couldn't even defend himself. Del Rio not even bothering to lift a finger to help him. And then at the end of the matchup, Del Rio just took out his frustrations with the United States Championship, just all the failures he's had in his career to date. Del Rio taking out his frustrations on his former ally, Curtis Axel. And Curtis Axel, the wild card in this triple threat matchup, as this is the first time he's challenging for the United States Championship. We've seen Curtis Axel, he's had opportunities in the past to show his stuff on the pay-per-view level, dating all the way back to the Survivor Series pre-show where he went to the limit in a battle with Daniel Bryan. He just fell short, but he really brought the fight to Bryan on that night. Curtis Axel, of course, he had his rivalry as well over as a member of the SmackDown roster with Ryback for the Intercontinental Championship, and he fell short on that occasion as well, challenging Christian as well for the Intercontinental title. So he failed over on SmackDown, but tonight here, Curtis Axel, all of his hard work could come to fruition here tonight. He could be, we could very well be looking at the next United States champion. Could Axelmania run wild starting tonight? Curtis Axel, he's fired up, he's ready to go, looking to seek vengeance against his former tag team partner, Alberto Del Rio. And I'm sure even if Axel doesn't walk out with the US title here tonight, he would be pretty content with knowing that he can at least prevent Alberto Del Rio from capturing the title. Although Curtis Axel, this isn't quite like a Darren Young story. For those of you new to the series, Darren Young back at WrestleMania had the opportunity to perhaps thwart Titus O'Neil's chances at capturing the Intercontinental Championship, and that's probably more so what Darren was focused on. He wanted to make sure that Titus did not walk out with a belt. Whereas tonight, Curtis Axel, sure, he doesn't want Del Rio to win the U.S. title, but Curtis Axel, he's had a long journey to get here. He's going to be hell-bent on winning that United States Championship by any means necessary. And of course, this is a triple threat matchup, no disqualification, no countouts in effect for this one, so Alberto Del Rio, Curtis Axel, Cesaro, they can go to any means necessary to try to get the win here tonight. And of course, we could perhaps see some alliances in this one. As it being a triple threat matchup, you want to try to work together to get the third man out of that matchup so that you can just narrow it down to a one-on-one match between two respective opponents. And that way, you'll have a better chance of winning the matchup. As you can see right now, Alberto Del Rio and Cesaro going at it. Curtis Axel just kind of standing back at the moment, just letting these two tear each other apart. That's not a bad strategy. Del Rio whipped right into that turnbuckle. Cesaro now rubbing Del Rio's face into the mat, and then drives the elbow right in between the shoulder blades of Mexico's greatest exports. So at the moment, it doesn't appear as though there were really any alliances. These three men just kind of attacking each other all at once. Del Rio, what a clothesline right there, dropping Curtis Axel. And now Del Rio, right off the bat, going after the arms of his opponents, going after Cesaro. Curtis Axel just making sure that he goes to work on those arms, try to soften his opponents up for that devastating cross arm breaker submission hold. The move that Del Rio has been known for, the move that brought him to the dance, that has won him countless matches, including his United States Championship. Del Rio winning the title back at Survivor Series in the 6-man Battle Royal. So Del Rio, he's no stranger to championship gold. He's no stranger to these kind of multi-man matchups. And think, looking all the way back as well, at the Over the Limit pay-per-view last year, we saw Del Rio competing in a triple threat matchup, coming in as the World Heavyweight Champion against Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. That was 1 year ago. And Del Rio, well, things have gone a bit downhill from there for him. Apologize for that, I was stuttering a little bit. But it's just interesting to see how some of these superstars have progressed over the past year in Universe Mode. Guys like Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Christian, you name it. There's just a lot of superstars who competed at last year's Over the Limit, stepping up to the plate once more, trying to show their stuff, trying to achieve victory, success here at Over the Limit. As we can see right now, back suplex right there to Curtis Axel from Cesaro. And Del Rio now going after Cesaro here, looking for a DDT perhaps, but Cesaro counters it with a side Russian leg sweep. Axel back to his feet now. Cesaro dragging Del Rio away from the ropes, and a double foot stomp right there. Cesaro keeping Del Rio away from the ropes, making sure that Del Rio doesn't have any opportunity to perhaps escape outside the ring, catch his breath as he's looking to do right now. Curtis Axel bringing in this set of steel steps into the ring. Oh, look at this. Del Rio and Cesaro both up on the apron. Del Rio takes down Cesaro and now steps into the ring here. Oh, and he's got the steel steps now. A bit of a tug of war. Del Rio takes the steps away from Axel and almost just kind of threw them at Cesaro there. But Cesaro kicks Del Rio away there. Del Rio was trying to take Cesaro down off the apron. Cesaro had none of that. He wasn't going to let that slide. And now Axel, forearm, or I should say an elbow, right to the face of Cesaro there. As Del Rio now tosses those steel steps back inside the ring. So it appears as though those steel steps aren't going anywhere. Oh, but they could work against him here as Cesaro. A beautiful suplex right there, sending Del Rio crashing onto those steel steps. And now it's Axel with a suplex of his own. Nice snap suplex there to Del Rio. And now it's Cesaro looking for a snap suplex to Axel. Lucky for Axel, though, he just barely missed landing on those steel steps there. And Del Rio crawling back to his feet. Axel as well. Oh, a swinging neck breaker right there to the Swiss Superman taking down Cesaro. And now Axel slamming those elbows right into the shoulders of Cesaro here. And now he's looking for something, but it's countered by Cesaro with a nice knee lift. And here's Del Rio, a counter by Axel, and another swinging neck breaker to Cesaro. Curtis Axel starting to go on the offensive here in this matchup, slamming Del Rio's head off the mat. And now look at this, Cesaro, German suplex to Alberto Del Rio right there. Cesaro, he's picking up Del Rio, sends him across the ring. What's he looking for here? Oh, he's going for that Michinoku driver as he plants Del Rio into the mat, hooks the leg, but Curtis Axel right there to break up the pinfall. And now look at this, Curtis Axel swinging neck breaker of his own right there to Cesaro there as the champ is down. He's in trouble. Look at Del Rio now, German suplex to Axel as Del Rio looking to capitalize on the damage done by Axel. But Cesaro, he's still got some fight left in him, throwing Del Rio out over the ropes and now hangs him up to dry. Right there. As it's now Axel and Cesaro in the ring. Axel ducking out of harm's way here. Looking to continue the assault on his former tag team partner. As Cesaro now throws Curtis Axel into the ring right there. As now all three men looking to get back in the ring here. Curtis Axel lifts up Cesaro. Vertical suplex delivered to Cesaro. But now Del Rio attacking Curtis Axel from behind here as he's got him over there in the turnbuckle. Look at this. Oh, the enziguri right to the back of the head of Curtis Axel. But wait a minute. Cesaro wasting a little time here. Neutralizer to Del Rio. And Axel's down. He's out. Off that enziguri, he got knocked silly. Cesaro hooks the leg, looking to capitalize on his opportunity. And Cesaro retains the United States Championship here in our opening contest, folks. And what a triple threat matchup that was between these three men. We saw it all in this one. The steel steps getting brought into play here. And just in the end, Del Rio taking out Curtis Axel, almost doing the dirty work for Cesaro, as all Cesaro had to do was catch him with the neutralizer. It was just right place, right time for Cesaro. And ultimately, Del Rio he kind of set himself up for that one. Not going to lie. But Cesaro, regardless of the circumstances, he's going to walk out still the United States Champion. Cesaro, his reign of dominance as U.S. Champ will continue. Big victory here tonight for the Swiss Superman as he will continue to reign supreme at the top of the mountain as your United States Champion. So the first matchup of the night goes to the champion, but will that be the case for this matchup? As this is for the Tag Team Championship, and we're looking at the longest reigning Tag Team Champions in Universe Mode history. One of the longest title reigns in Universe Mode history that even rivals the more recent Intercontinental Championship reign held by Ryback. Yes, the Wyatt family have held those tag team titles for 192 days. I'll double check to make sure my information is correct, but that was the same amount of time that Ryback held the Intercontinental Championship. That is a long time, dating all the way back to No Way Out, when the Wyatt family won the tag team titles from Tons of Funk. And that was a different day and age in the tag team division of Universe Mode, that's for sure. But now, the tag team division, I would have to say, is stronger than ever. And one of the teams leading this new movement, this new charge, is, well, the newest team to the division, who have just been rising through the ranks since their debut. And really, in the span of since they debuted, which has been about a month, they have looked very dominant. Slamming through the competition, through the ranks, and then especially in the Tag Team Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. Of all the teams that competed, the 8 teams competing, the Ascension, I would have expected a strong showing from them, but I had no idea that they would win the whole tournament, even defeating the Usos in the final round. Perhaps, well actually, I'm mistaken, Ryback actually had Never mind. I just misread the thing. Never mind. The Wyatt family have held the titles as long as Ryback held his Intercontinental Championship. However, does that mean that the Wyatt family could break the record tonight? Or are they going to be shut down by this powerhouse, up-and-coming tag team known as the Ascension? Eric Rowan and Luke Harper taking on Connor and Victor here tonight at Over the Limit. And you got to think, this time last year was about when the tag team titles were completely vacated. I mean, there was a lot of controversy after what went down at last year's Over the Limit pay-per-view, where the tag titles were won by Zack Ryder and R-Truth. But then, I mean, there was an injury to Truth, and titles were vacated. It was a very confusing situation, to be perfectly honest. Probably one of the... If I had any regrets for this series, that would probably be one of them, because I even struggled to understand exactly what my thought process was behind that whole tag team fiasco last year. So, I mean, the tag team division has come a long way. We went from having vacant tag team titles for about 2 months to now where we've had the Wyatt family just dominate the entire tag team division. Even win the Shield, which was the tag team of the year according to the Slammy Awards. When the Shield stepped up to try to take the tag team titles from them, they weren't even a match for Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. Seth and Dean, they were in the tag team tournament as well, but they were defeated by the Shield, or they are the Shield, what am I saying? They were defeated by the Usos, who were defeated by the Ascension. So, by extension, does that perhaps mean that the Ascension are even greater a team than the Shield? Do they have that much potential? Needless to say, the future is bright for this up-and-coming tag team. I mean, the Ascension, what exactly does the future hold for them? They could be the next tag team champions, and they only debuted a month ago. The Ascension, they certainly aren't interested. Oh my god, a drop kick off the top rope. Victor pulling out all the stops here, and we've only just begun this tag team matchup. Wow. So yeah, the Ascension, they are a mystery. They only debuted about a month ago, so we don't know a whole lot about them. But they have shown their impressiveness. They've shown that they can hang with some of the best in the tag team division. I mean, they defeated the Usos, who are arguably one of the best tag teams at the moment. I mean, maybe even up there with the Shield and the Wyatt family. I mean, they defeated the Shield in the tournament, so it's hard to argue that. As we see now, Victor driving the elbows into the skull of Eric Rowan. So, at the moment, it appears as though the Ascension have the upper hand, but Eric Rowan counters. He's going to tag in the freshman, Luke Harper. Victor has taken quite a substantial amount of damage, though, from Rowan. And now a big boot to Harper, right to the face. What a move there by Victor. As Victor, you know, the Ascension, you kind of pegged them as more of the powerhouse style of team. But as we saw from Victor, he's willing to go to the top rope. He can, you know, like I said in their match with the Usos, if I can even talk, the Ascension have their moments of explosiveness where they can quicken the pace when they need to. Although, you know, they are more of that standard kind of slow, methodical powerhouse tag team. At least from what I've seen from them thus far. Although they do have their moments where they can quicken the pace if necessary. And against a team like the Wyatt family, which is also another slow, methodical pace, it might benefit the Ascension if they're able to quicken the pace more often in this matchup than perhaps against the Usos, who thrive on a quicker pace. So the Ascension, I mean, for the teams that they've faced, it appears as though they've done a good job at adjusting to their various opponents. I mean, facing the likes of, when they debuted, they faced Santino and Khali, which is not the most star-studded of tag teams whatsoever. So that didn't appear that difficult for them. But then, you know, adjusting from a tag team like the Brotherhood to the high-flying antics of the Usos to now this methodical powerhouse of the Wyatt family. So the Ascension, we're definitely seeing how they fare against different sort of styles of tag team wrestling. So that is this is a good way to kind of get to know what the Ascension have. What kind of potential do these guys have as a tag team? And as we've seen so far, they definitely gel together very well. Unlike perhaps a team like the New Day that we've seen, it really took the New Day a while to kind of gel together as a tag team. But that's not the case for the Ascension. They were, in fact, the longest reigning tag team champions down in NXT. So perhaps the jump to the main roster wasn't exactly that difficult for them. I mean, they've already proven their dominance. Now the question is, can they maintain that kind of dominance on the main roster, which is a completely different, pool of talent they're going up against. I mean, especially when their first challenge for the titles is the Wyatt family. I mean, they've got a lot to try to live up to here. Big boot from Luke Harper. There was a bit of an exchange there between Harper and Connor. Connor just got his head kicked in, but he kicks at it too. Woof. That was almost it for the Ascension. Their night was almost over right there. Oh, and now Connor, just like that, Connor is in a world of trouble as Harper sends Rowan into the corner. Clothesline from Rowan as he hooks the leg on Connor. One, but there's Victor to break it up. As is the nature of tag team matches, you got to make sure you get rid of that other person on the apron. Otherwise, they're just going to come in and break up the pin. Although Connor now, I'm sure Eric Rowan and Harper do not mind taking their time with Connor, just slowly picking him apart, wearing him down until he won't be able to continue fighting anymore. As you see Rowan now with the splash off the ropes, cover again, 2 count, and a kick out by Connor as he just gets the shoulder up. But still, you can't win the match by being a tackling dummy. You gotta start mounting some offenses. Wait a minute, Connor, he's got Eric Rowan up on the top rope. What is Connor gonna do here? Oh, what a huge slam, like a one-handed power bomb off the top rope to Eric Rowan, and now driving the knee into the skull of Eric Rowan. Wow, what strength shown there by Connor. He needed to hit something big to turn this back around. That's just what he did. But still, the wear and tear from the previous assault from the Wyatt family is certainly, it's showing its effects. It's taking its toll on Connor as he can barely defend himself at the moment. Well, obviously, he sustained a substantial amount of damage from the Wyatt family's previous attack. Oh, but this time, Connor was able to counter, as now he tosses Eric Rowan into the corner of the Ascension. Look at this. Irish whip into a clothesline off the second rope by Victor. Oh, and look at this. The Ascension now starting to fire up their tag team combinations. 2 count there, but a kick out by Rowan. As Harper wasn't going to make it in time. Luckily enough for him, Rowan was able to kick out. But the Wyatt family are on the ropes. Well, now literally they're on the ropes. Let's look at this. Victor, we've seen this before. Springboard European uppercut from Victor. And now a clothesline to Harper as he takes him off the rope. Cover here by Victor. He could have Rowan beat. 2 count. 3. Oh, no, a kick out by Rowan. Oh, my goodness. No one has ever brought the Wyatt family this close to defeat before. As now Rowan tossed into the corner. What's going to happen here? Victor tags in Connor. There's a hip toss. What's going on? Oh, they're setting up Rowan. Look at this. Double shoulder block by the Ascension. Another beautiful tag team move there. Well, now we're starting to clearly see the Ascension. They do have some tag team moves in their arsenal. They do know how to work together well as a tag team. And that's definitely what we're seeing here in this matchup. Connor, though, perhaps, you got to be careful. You can't let your ego get the better of you as he's starting to fire up, but he's getting a little too into it. Oh, a pump handle gut buster right there from Eric Rowan. Not a pump handle gut buster. I'm just going to call it that because I don't remember exactly what that was. It was a gut buster, that's for sure. And now Victor gets the tag. Uppercut to Luke Harper. Down goes Harper. Rowan knocked off the ropes as Rowan is still feeling the effects from the previous assault by the Ascension. And now Victor, look at this. Tossing Harper into the corner. Oh, and this is not looking good for Harper. This is not good for the Wyatt family as the Ascension, they're kicking it into high gear. We've seen 2 of their previous tag team moves. What are we going to see this time? Oh, they're going for the end. They're looking to finish it with the fall of man. Oh, Harper, you are in a world of trouble! Fall of Man by the Ascension. Cover by Connor. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. We've got new tag team champions, ladies and gentlemen. It's been such a long time since I've been able to say that. I almost thought the Wyatt family were never going to lose the tag team titles. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, tonight at Over the Limit, we've got new tag team champions as the Ascension. Just a little over a month from their debut, they have won the tag team titles. Oh my god. What a statement made by the Ascension here tonight. And what a better way to finish it off than with the move they're slowly becoming known for, the Fall of Man. And it was the fall of the Wyatt family here tonight. I mean, at WrestleMania, we saw the disappearance of Bray Wyatt after being defeated. We haven't seen him since. And now the Wyatt family, they've lost their tag team titles. Well, are we perhaps seeing the destruction of the Wyatt family before our very eyes here? Even if that's not the case, one thing's for sure, we are seeing the rise of the Ascension, your new tag team champions. My goodness. Wow. That was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. For a tag team match, which normally tend to be somewhat lackluster, that was impressive. The Ascension, gonna have to keep tabs on them. They are clearly a force to be reckoned with here in Universe Mode. Are we perhaps looking at the next dominant tag team? I mean, first it was the Shield, and then the Wyatt family stepped up. Are the Ascension perhaps the next team to kind of fill that gap? I don't know, but we're moving on to the next matchup for the evening. The Intercontinental Championship match between Titus O'Neil and his opponent, Goldust. That's right, Goldust at Extreme Rules won a triple threat matchup against Cody Rhodes and Darren Young to become the #1 contender. He earned this opportunity to face Titus O'Neil. But the question is he going to be able to capitalize on that opportunity here tonight? Is he going to be able to, when it's all said and done, does he have what it takes to win the Intercontinental Championship? We saw him debut back around TLC, helping out his brother Cody, but it seems as though since then, he struggled a bit, whether it's going after the tag team titles against the Wyatt family. Goldust has fallen short. And then recently in Extreme Rules, he had the opportunity. He could have pinned either Cody or Darren, but he chose to pin Cody, and that's how he won the matchup. So perhaps a little bit of dissension brewing between the Brotherhood, as we also did see them compete in the Tag Team Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. They lost to the Ascension in the semifinal round. Goldust was perhaps looking to work double duty tonight, but there was just maybe perhaps that lack of chemistry or just the pure dominance of the Ascension that, unfortunately for the Brotherhood, led them to fall short, and they were in the end defeated by the Ascension. But Goldust now, he's on his own tonight. Perhaps in his mind, he doesn't have his brother Cody holding him back. So he's on his own tonight. We'll see if he has what it takes to defeat the real deal, Titus O'Neil, who has been, I mean, you'd have to argue perhaps he's been just as dominant, if not a more dominant champion than Ryback was at the beginning of his reign. I mean, heck, to win the Intercontinental Championship from Ryback was a huge feat in his own right. I mean, Ryback, he held the title for 192 days, just as long as the Wyatt family. I mean, from SummerSlam to WrestleMania, that's a long time. A very long time, in fact. And Ryback, I mean, that was the longest title reign in Universe Mode to date, and up until the Wyatt family's tag team run, which tonight just tied that reign, was the longest reign. It was the longest singles championship reign, we can call it that now. But still, Titus O'Neil, he has big shoes to fill as the Intercontinental Champion, and it seems as though he's filling them well. I mean, he's got the ego, definitely, that could probably doesn't even fit in those shoes, but it's the question of whether or not he has the ability to live up to Ryback's history as the Intercontinental Champion. And we've seen thus far that Titus O'Neil, I mean, he's certainly taken pride in going after legends, former Intercontinental Champions like the Honky Tonk Man, Rick Rude. I mean, Titus O'Neil, it seems as though his targets have been former Intercontinental Champions. William Regal as well can be added to that list. But no matter who he's facing, whether it's a legend or a current-day superstar, Titus, he's winning. And he's winning effectively. He's been a dominant Intercontinental Champion since WrestleMania. And, you know, at first, it appeared as though his victory may have been a fluke because it was a fatal four-way matchup. He didn't actually pin Ryback. So there were still some doubters as to whether or not Titus was the real deal. But he proved to the world at Extreme Rules that he can, and he did defeat Ryback in singles competition. He has what it takes, and that he is the real deal. He is the real Intercontinental Champion. So I'm very curious to see how long Titus can keep up this reign. I mean, we saw how long Ryback held the Intercontinental Championship, and Titus O'Neil has almost created this impression that he is a more dominant champion than Ryback, at least to this point in his reign, in comparison to Ryback's. As now he delivers a couple body shots to Goldust, dropping him down to the mat. And now an elbow right to the back of Goldust. So yeah, Titus, I don't know. Like I said, he's got big shoes to fill, but I think he could. He could very well do that. Could he break the record? That's asking a lot, but Titus, I mean, his ego would tell you that he could probably double that record, double that title reign. So as we see covered here by Goldust, taken out by Titus. I mean, I'm sure that's what Titus would say. I haven't actually interviewed him yet. Maybe I should give that a shot at some point. But yeah, Titus, I'm sure he believes that he can double, maybe even triple the length of that reign. But he's got to get through Goldust here tonight. And at the moment, Goldust is starting to get some offense going. He hit his signature maneuver, that lifting reverse DDT. And he got a 2 count on Titus. But it's just a second away from a 3 count. And all it takes is a split second to win a match. Oh, and now raking the eyes there of Goldust is Titus O'Neil. And look at this. Backbreaker to Goldust. And this could be the beginning of the end. Cover, 2 count, but Goldust is able to kick at it too. But still, we know what this sets up. Titus O'Neil, he didn't win with that, so the next bet is Clash of the Titus. As he hits it right there, hooks the leg on Goldust. 2 count, Titus O'Neil retains the Intercontinental Championship. So Titus O'Neil continues to prove that he is the real deal. And he certainly continues his reign as a dominant Intercontinental Champion. I mean, he crushed his partner Darren Young back at Elimination Chamber, won the title at WrestleMania, and then Extreme Rules Over the Limit retains the title. This has been a good stretch for Titus O'Neil. I mean, ever since losing to the Wyatt family in the tag team title match, Titus O'Neil has just... he's turned his career around. He has really built up this amazing hot streak of momentum that he's got going. Who can stop Titus O'Neil? He is just on a path of destruction. I mean, we could very well be looking at a future World Heavyweight Champion right before our very eyes. Titus O'Neil, I mean, he's proven he's got the track record, but can he keep this up? We'll have to wait and see. But now we move on to one of our 2 world title matches for this evening. As we can see, 2 superstars who have proven that they can, and in fact, are world championship material. You know, we were discussing about Titus earlier, that, you know, he could perhaps be, but we're looking at 2 superstars that are competing in this matchup that have proven that they are world championship material. One of them being this man, the current world heavyweight champion, the show-off Dolph Ziggler. Of course, Ziggler defeating his opponent tonight, Christian, back at Extreme Rules to win the world heavyweight championship. Ziggler, you know, for a while in the Universe mode, he struggled. I mean, think back to last year's Over the Limit pay-per-view, where Dolph Ziggler was competing against Jack Swagger for the United States Championship, in a losing effort, might I add. And then, ever since he started stringing together victories around November, December, Dolph Ziggler, he really was building his way up. He competed in the Elimination Chamber. Took a lot to get him out of that matchup. Moves from The Rock and John Cena to finally finish him off. And that was a setback. But he kept going. He kept winning, kept building momentum, and then finally scoring the win in the WWE Draft against Christian, making himself #1 contender, and then defeating Christian at Extreme Rules. So Christian, he's got a very bad record against Dolph Ziggler. I mean, even dating so far back as the WWE Superstars Special, the season finale of 2K14. He lost to Ziggler there. The WWE Draft, he lost there. On Raw recently, he lost there. He lost again on Raw. 2 weeks in a row on Raw, he lost to Ziggler. He lost to Ziggler at Extreme Rules. He is 0-5 against Dolph Ziggler in one-on-one matches. Now, granted, Christian, it appears as though his attitude, since losing to Ziggler the 5th time, it appears as though Christian, he's just snapped. He can't take it anymore. He's lost his respect for Dolph Ziggler, and it appears as though he's also lost his respect for the WWE Universe. Is he perhaps losing respect for himself? I mean, his morals have certainly dipped. I mean, of course, taking the cheap shot, refusing to shake Ziggler's hand 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. Well, I guess 3 weeks ago it would have been. And Ziggler now, I mean, you can just tell this isn't just about the championship anymore. This has gotten personal between these two men. And Christian, I'm sure he would love nothing more than to defeat Dolph Ziggler here tonight. This isn't, I mean, obviously the World Heavyweight Championship is a driving factor for Christian, but at this point, I don't think that's his main goal. His main goal tonight is just to prove not only to the world, but to himself that he can beat Dolph Ziggler. He's had 5 chances. He's lost all 5 times. Christian, I mean, if he loses here, he's done. He does not get another shot at the World Heavyweight Championship anytime soon. Christian, he's almost out of time. It's now or never. He has to win this matchup tonight. And unlike what most matches in this scenario would be, it's not a no disqualification matchup. So Christian, he has to, like, this is going to make it very difficult for Christian because he has to defeat Dolph Ziggler, but he can't break the rules in doing it. If he snaps and grabs a steel chair and gets disqualified, then he's out of the matchup. He can't do something like that. Ziggler still has the champion's advantage. So Christian, if this matchup tonight, I mean, true, Paul Heyman could have easily made this matchup no holds barred or Extreme Rules or something like that. But ultimately, I mean, Christian, if he's trying to prove that he's the better man, the better wrestler between these two, allowing him to kind of take the easy way out and use weapons, not having a count out, not having it be a regular matchup, I don't think that's really what Christian would want. So perhaps Paul Heyman, I know it is a bit of an interesting challenge to Christian, so he's got to keep himself under control, but perhaps is Paul Heyman doing Christian a bit of a favor here? I mean, you have to think, if you want to prove that you're the better man, Christian, at this point, his mental state is a bit unstable, so really, if he was given the option to use weapons, I'm sure he would not hesitate. But ultimately, I don't think that's what's best for Christian. I think Paul Heyman did the right thing by not adding a stipulation, just letting it be a straight-up one-on-one matchup. Big DDT there by Dolph Ziggler. But as this is a one-on-one matchup, Dolph Ziggler here tonight, I mean, obviously, he's got the mental advantage over Christian. Ziggler knows that he can beat Christian. He's done it 5 times. And he knows that Christian is, I mean, at this point, he's unstable. So Dolph Ziggler, he could use that to his advantage. He could easily just try to frustrate Christian, get himself disqualified. DDT right there by Dolph Ziggler. Could actually put Christian away right there. Here we go. 1, 2, Kick out by Christian. But Ziggler at the same time, he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to make Christian get himself disqualified. Because, as he's proven, he can beat Christian in a straight-up one-on-one matchup. So, Ziggler, his confidence has got to be through the roof at this point. Although I'm sure he does have, like I said, this match has grown personal. Christian with a cheap shot, refusing to shake his hand. Ziggler wants Christian's respect, but if he can't get it, then I'm sure Ziggler would love nothing more than to just beat the crap out of Christian here tonight on pay-per-view. Look at this. Suplex there by Dolph Ziggler. So obviously from what we've seen between these two, Ziggler is the better technical wrestler. So Christian, he's going to have to pull out something innovative. He's got to do something. He's got to have some tricks up his sleeve. Something unexpected that Ziggler wouldn't anticipate. Perhaps a new move in his arsenal, or I don't know, a submission hold. Something that's going to catch Ziggler off guard. Look at this. Ziggler going to the top rope. Perhaps looking for the elbow drop. Look at this. Elbow drop by Ziggler. Hooks the leg on Christian. 1, 2, 3. No, kick out by Christian at the last second. Wow, Ziggler almost had him there. Christian struggling to get to his feet. Look at this. Zigzag. Zigzag by Dolph Ziggler. This could be the beginning of the end. 2 count. Good night, Christian. You're done, Christian. That was your last shot. Dolph Ziggler, yet again, defeats Christian. Now the 6th time these two men have faced off. Ziggler has won all 6 encounters. Christian, I mean, I think it's back to the drawing board. Christian, as long as Ziggler is world champion, I can't see Christian getting another title shot. I just can't. Maybe Paul Heyman's got other plans in mind, but I mean, Christian, when it comes to Dolph Ziggler, Ziggler has Christian's number. There's nothing that Christian can do against Dolph Ziggler to win. It seems like no matter what Christian does, he just can't get the one-up on Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler is always one step ahead. He's always the better man on every single night. And, well, Christian, what does this mean? What does the future hold for the two? I mean, Christian, I'm very worried for him at this point. But we got to move on with the pay-per-view. And, ladies and gentlemen, you'd better get ready for this one, because this matchup is going to knock your socks off. And if you're not wearing socks, well, put some socks on, because you're about to get them knocked off by the action we're about to see here between two bright young superstars, both making their pay-per-view debut. I've got high expectations for this one, because we've got the man that gravity forgot, the high-flying Adrian Neville. And from what we've seen so far, just a little bit of a glimpse from what we've seen from Neville in his previous matches. This man, he can fly. He defies gravity. And we should expect to see a lot from him. I mean, this is his pay-per-view debut after all. You got to think these two men are going to be looking to pull out all the stops in this one to make themselves known. They want to make a statement here in their first pay-per-view matchup. So I expect a lot from these two. And now coming down to the ring is the inspirational Bo Dallas. And, well, inspirational is, it's not exactly a fitting word to describe Bo Dallas's actions as of late. Over the course of the past month, I mean, these two do have history dating back to episode 53 of Universe Mode, where Bo Dallas defeated Adrian Neville, handing Neville his first loss in Universe Mode. So Adrian Neville, he's looking to get his win back here tonight. But since then, Bo Dallas has lost his first matchup as well. And after he lost that first match, Bo Dallas has he's just gone ballistic. I mean, attacking Justin Gabriel after the match like a sore loser. I mean, so much for being inspirational, he's been more like a sore loser as of late. And then last week on Main Event, when he lost the triple threat matchup, granted he was not the man pinned, Adrian Neville pinned Justin Gabriel in that matchup, but Bo Dallas still attacked Adrian Neville after the matchup like this sore loser. So Bo Dallas here tonight, we'll see. Well, if he loses, is he going to throw another tantrum Is he going to throw a fit if he loses this time as well? What do we expect to see from Dallas? But then again, what if he wins? Is he gonna go back to being this inspirational, respectable competitor that he seems to believe that he is, or is he just gonna attack Neville anyway? I don't know, but one thing's for sure, Bo Dallas, he's gonna be taking that victory lap if he does indeed win this matchup tonight. But he's got a lot of work cut out for him here, as Adrian Neville, you know, he's not the same man he was a month ago. Adrian Neville has faced Dallas before, and now there's some personal animosity between these two. It's not just a regular matchup, and that could perhaps drive either of these two men to kick it into another gear in this matchup, as we can see now. Counter by Dallas into an arm breaker, taking down Adrian Neville. And real quick, while I'm thinking of it, I want to make a correction to one of my statements earlier on. The Wyatt family's title reign, as well as Ryback's, they're not 192 days. They were 196 days. It's 4 days difference, but statistics, it makes all the difference to me. Because I call myself Math Whiz, but I apparently can't do math. At least, not on the fly. It's just weird, because in the statistics I have set up for that, I had one set to 196 and the other to 192, which means I made a mistake somewhere. So I do apologize for that misinformation earlier on. And if you are watching the video to this point, if you've watched the entire pay-per-view so far and you expect to continue watching the pay-per-view to the end, then I want you to comment down below statistics. That's going to be my little password keyword for this pay-per-view. I hope you're enjoying it though so far. As you can see, look at this. Adrian Neville going to the top rope. Look at this. 450 splash. Hooks the leg on Bo Dallas. That could be it. No, kick out by Dallas. We saw Neville pull out that 450 splash 2 weeks ago on main event as well. Was unable to put Gabriel away, but that just shows, I mean, Justin Gabriel, he uses that 450 splash as his finisher. Whereas Neville, you know, he can pull out a move like that like it's commonplace, like it's no effort whatsoever. Bo Dallas now with a Bo Dazzler, hooks the leg, well, doesn't hook the leg. That could perhaps cost him as Neville kicks out. Perhaps if Dallas had hooked the leg, maybe he would have beaten Neville right there. But that's all speculation at this point. What a kick there from Dallas. But Adrian Neville, I mean, that 450 splash isn't even the best that Neville has to offer in his arsenal. No, he's still got that deadly red arrow. Bo Dallas, he does not want to get hit by that. He's got to avoid it at all costs. Let's look at this. Neville now. What's this? Oh, a cutter right there. Taking Bo Dallas and planting him face first into the mat right there. Adrian Neville countered by Dallas with a kick to the gut. And now look at this. Perhaps looking for that DDT, but it's countered by Neville with an elbow right to the face. And now Dallas with a counter of his own. Side Russian leg sweep as he takes down Neville. And now an elbow drop right to the heart of Neville. And again, an elbow drop from Bo Dallas. And now look at this. Going for a neck breaker. Neville counters it though. Another elbow. This time to the side of the head. And now he's setting up Bo Dallas on the ropes. Clothesline. Sending Dallas over the top rope. And what is Neville looking to do? Neville's looking to fly. Look at this! Adrian Neville! Poetry in motion right there with the Spaceman plancha. My goodness. Adrian Neville risking life and limb here to pick up the victory tonight. And this is just as I was saying earlier on. We're going to expect a lot from this man, Adrian Neville. That's why they call him the man that gravity forgot, because, well, gravity doesn't even apply to this man. Adrian Neville is just, he's something else. He's something special in that ring. But Bo Dallas now looking to bounce back. There's a chop, and a second Bo Dazzler connects as he goes for the cover. Once again, fails to hook the leg, and again, Neville kicks at it too. And Bo Dallas, he can't afford to get careless. I mean, we know he wants to put Neville away once and for all, but Dallas, you know, he has to hook that leg. He can't forget the fundamentals. That's how you fall short in a matchup like this. Even if, you know, you can do all these special things, you got to make sure you remember your fundamentals. Oh my goodness, Adrian Neville nearly planted Bo Dallas right on that monitor with that inverted Frankensteiner. And Bo Dallas, he is not looking good at all at the moment. This is all Adrian Neville. Dallas, though, manages to get Neville back in the ring, avoiding the countout. As Dallas picking Neville up, just picking him up by the head there. Oh, but Neville with a counter sending Dallas over the top rope. Dallas hangs on, though, although he might regret that right now. Sunset flip powerbomb to the floor. And Bo Dallas may have just grazed that monitor on the way down, and that definitely could be a deciding factor in this one. Is Dallas, you know, if you land on something like that, something sharp like that monitor, that can mess you up. That can cause some serious internal damage as well as external damage. As we see now, Neville counters Dallas, now throws him over there into the corner. Whips him out from the corner, going up to the second rope here. Look at Neville. Astro Scissors Whip right there, sending Dallas nearly halfway across the ring. Oh, and Neville, he's going to the top rope. Could he be looking for the red arrow? Yes, he is, and he hits it. Hooks the leg off the red arrow, but of course, we got to get a replay on that. Just look at that beautiful move by Neville. And that is it, folks. Adrian Neville defeats Bo Dallas here tonight at Over the Limit. So, while Adrian Neville, his record may have been a bit shaky as of late, he's kind of been on the ropes, but tonight, when it counted in his pay-per-view debut, he had it left in the tank to finish off Bo Dallas. And right here, let's get a replay of this gem, this beauty of a move. Clothesline over the top rope, and then one more time, we gotta take a look at this. Adrian Neville just throwing his body on the line here to try to put away Bo Dallas. And then, of course, right there, the red arrow. Just truly a sight to see. Set your DVRs, or I guess this is YouTube. I don't know. Set your watch later playlist. I don't know. You gotta rewatch that. That red arrow truly is a sight to see. It's poetry in motion, I tell you. And tonight, Bo Dallas, well, it appears as though he's not going ballistic. He's not going to be a sore loser tonight. But what the hell? Corey Graves? What is Corey Graves doing here? Oh my, a chop block right to the leg of Adrian Neville. What the hell? Well, I guess Bo Dallas certainly is not being a sore loser here tonight, but Corey Graves has seemingly almost taken his place. Just attacking the leg now of Adrian Neville. What does Graves want with Neville? Granted, these two have some history down in NXT, but I mean, this is no time for Graves to be. Just look at this, just completely targeting the leg of Adrian Neville. I mean, come on, Neville just had a grueling match with Bo Dallas, and now he can't even defend himself as Graves continues the assault on Adrian Neville's leg, his knee. I mean, Graves, this is completely uncalled for, just out of nowhere. Now an elbow right to the knee of Adrian Neville, and look at this, Neville, he could be suffering some serious injury right now, folks. I mean, as if he didn't sacrifice his body enough in the last matchup. Now Graves just continuing the punishment on Neville. You can see Neville can't even defend himself right now. Oh my god. Corey Graves, he could be out to try and break the leg of Adrian Neville here. I mean, even if he doesn't break any bones, he could very well tear some muscles, some ligaments. Oh, maybe even hyperextend the knee right there off a move like that. Come on, Graves. Somebody's got to stop this. Somebody's got to put an end to this right now. Corey Graves again with this submission hold. Just look at that. Just completely bending Neville's leg out of place. I mean, Neville, he can barely stand at this point. And now, Graves is just being disrespectful at this point. Driving the boot into the jaw of Neville. And Graves, almost just like a hired assassin right now, just completely he's out for blood. He's out to kill Neville here tonight. What is he gonna do now? What more can he do? Oh my god. Oh my god, that's just painful to watch, Graves. Come on. Is he finally done? Is he finally done with this assault? I mean, I don't even know what to call that last submission hold, but that's just painful to watch. Bending Neville's arm, his leg out of place. Graves. What was this about? Graves, is this just, was this personal? Was he intentionally targeting Neville, or is Graves just here tonight just to make a statement to the locker room once again. Whatever the case may be, Adrian Neville, he's suffered some severe damage here tonight. He's got to have some sort of an injury. He could have the broken bones, torn ligaments, torn muscles, hyperextensions. I mean, I'm a bit fearful for Neville's future after an attack like that. I mean, I don't know when the next time we're going to be seeing anything from Adrian Neville, but Corey Graves, he may have just ended Neville's career. But as they say, the show must go on. We've got to move on. We've got to continue beyond what just happened moments ago, as we've got a Divas Championship matchup set to take place here tonight. And we've got, well, certainly a woman who has shaken the foundation of the Divas division to its core as of late, just rising to the top in historic fashion. Paige, she debuted back in February, and now here she is standing before you in May, the Divas champion, about to defend the title for the first time in a rematch from Extreme Rules against the former champion, Brie Bella. And Brie Bella here tonight. As I said a couple of episodes ago, Brie Bella, perhaps at Extreme Rules, she underestimated Paige, because Paige, being, you know, the new girl in town, she was still a bit of an unknown, not exactly sure what she brought to the table. Paige possibly still having that ace up her sleeve, and Brie Bella here tonight, well, now she knows that Paige does have what it takes to defeat her. That could have perhaps been a bit of an egotistical underestimation by Brie Bella last month. You know, of course, when you're the champion, like I said earlier, when you're the challenger, you have far more of a drive to try to win than as you're the champion, because then you've already gotten that spot, and fighting to maintain it, it's not as desperate as fighting to capture it, because, you know, then you always have that rematch clause, so you do have a second chance should you lose. And Brie Bella, she's using that second chance here tonight against Paige. So we could perhaps be seeing Brie Bella, you know, maybe it was just a fluke. Brie Bella, she could perhaps be here tonight to prove that Paige's victory at Extreme Rules was just a fluke. And, well, I guess we'll see truly if Brie Bella, she will hold nothing back in this matchup. As we can see now, Paige, backbreaker right there to Brie Bella. And I mean, Paige, she's just defeated. She's still undefeated, so I highly doubt the loss at Extreme Rules by Brie Bella was a fluke. I mean, Paige, she's defeated Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, Tamina Snuka, Natalya, Summer Rae. I mean, just about every single diva on the roster has fallen victim to Paige at some point or another. Now, granted, the Divas roster is a bit smaller than I would like, but nonetheless, that is still a large feat. And it's a commendable feat by Paige. I mean, she's defeated former Divas champions. I mean, Paige, she's just unstoppable at this point in her career. But Brie Bella, she's looking to put a stop to Paige's just freight train of momentum. I mean, Paige, she's just going at like the speed of light. Nobody can stop her. Nobody can even catch up to her. But Brie Bella's looking to prove me wrong tonight. As we can see now, Paige trying to roll away, create some distance. And now a chop to Brie Bella. Oh, but she's picking her up by the arm, and another chop from Paige. And of course, Brie Bella, if you're in this matchup tonight, you got to avoid the deadly Rampage, that cradle DDT. I mean, we've seen whenever Paige hits that move, 9 times out of 10, you stay down, you're not getting up. And the only time that someone has even made it back to their feet from a Rampage is because of a rope break. In that one matchup against AJ where Paige, it was only a rope break. Nobody has kicked out of the Rampage as of yet. Oh, look at Paige. Well, she might not even need the Rampage as she hits the Paige turner, hooks the leg on Brie. 1, 2, 3. No. Getting my hopes up a little bit. It's not quite it, as Brie Bella kicks out of the Paige turner. But Paige, we've seen this before, going directly for the Rampage, but Brie Bella able to counter it, going for a DDT, but now it's Paige who counters with a nice arm breaker right there. And Brie Bella now trying to create some distance, delivers a clothesline. a ferocious clothesline. But now it's Paige back to her feet. Counter again by Brie, using Paige's own momentum against her for that hip toss. And now Paige blocks a strike, delivers a kick to the gut of Brie. And now Paige, what's she thinking? Well, whatever it was, Brie, she had it well scouted. And now there's a snapmare takedown by Brie. Drop kick right to the skull of Paige. And Brie Bella now. Oh, she's looking for that single leg Boston Crab. Submission hold locked in here. But Paige, she might be too close to the ropes. And yes, Paige is going to force the rope break. Brie Bella, she didn't quite have her in the center of the ring. And that could have perhaps been the deciding. Wait a minute. Crucifix. Crucifix by Paige. And she's got a roll up. But Brie Bella kicks out at the last second. And Paige has really got Brie on the ropes. Oh, and now a kick to the gut of Brie right there. Paige. And that's, like I said, Paige is by far the most aggressive diva in the division today. And that kick to the gut right there just shows it. And now just grabbing Brie by the hair and slamming her head first into the mat. And now a drop kick to the back. Paige really letting her aggressiveness. I mean, that's what brought her to the dance. And she's letting it out in full force here tonight. As Brie Bella now, Irish whip. But, oh wait, look at this, Paige, inside cradle, hooks the leg, 2 count, could have Brie caught, but no, Brie kicks out. Just barely, though. I mean, Brie Bella, she's got to be on her toes at all times. And again, Paige, just slamming Brie Bella's head off the mat once more. But yeah, you got to be on your toes at all times. Paige again, just slamming Brie's head into the mat. Paige is almost just toying with Brie at this point. But Brie, look at this. Northern Light suplex. Goes for the cover, but Paige's legs, you know, able to reach out to that bottom rope. That's good ring presence by Paige. And now driving the elbow into the nose, the skull of Brie Bella. But now it's Paige with a counter. She's got Brie over there into the corner. What is Paige looking to do here? Turns Brie Bella around. Oh, but a counter by Brie with a nice elbow to the jaw. And now look at this. Another Northern Light suplex. Center of the ring this time. But Paige gets the shoulder up at 1. And not even a 2 count. Paige doesn't want to show any signs of weakness. Any signs of wear and tear. Brie Bella now with a reverse vertical suplex. But Paige is back to her feet yet again. And now a clothesline by Paige. A ferocious clothesline in her own right. And now Paige. She's measuring Brie Bella. What's she looking to do here? Look at this. Oh, she's going for the rampage. That cradle DDT. And that may just put Brie Bella's lights out for good. Paige hooks the leg. 2 count. Good night, Brie Bella. This match is over. Paige, she is your winner. She retains the Divas Championship once again. And Brie Bella yet again has fallen short of the mark here tonight. So it's back to the bottom of the barrel for Brie Bella. She's going to have to start her journey to the Divas Championship all over again. And Paige, she continues her undefeated streak. Her reign of dominance at the top will continue for yet another month. As Paige, well, she truly has opened a lot of eyes towards this women's division, I believe. I mean, she's just been defeating everybody. She's just taken this division by storm. I mean, who can stop Paige? I mean, obviously Brie couldn't do it. Tamina can't do it. I mean, Paige, she's just set down literally every opponent that has stepped up to face her. I mean, maybe there aren't any competitors in the current women's division that can... At least it doesn't seem to be that way. But now we're going to move on to a different matter. The WWE Championship, the main event of SmackDown, the main event of this pay-per-view, as it is CM Punk defending the gold against the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. And there's been a lot building up to this one. Sheamus, of course, with his repeated attacks. I mean, first he took out Randy Orton, then he attacked CM Punk, then he took out Randy Orton again. Actually, he took out Randy Orton 3 times. He attacked him. And then, of course, defeating him in the match as well. I mean, Sheamus, he made a statement out of Orton. made a statement out of CM Punk himself. And of course, he even defeated Punk in one-on-one competition, which is why Sheamus has this matchup here tonight. Take you back 3 weeks ago on SmackDown. I guess it would be 4 weeks ago. Sheamus defeated CM Punk in one-on-one competition, making himself the #1 contender. And then, of course, last night on SmackDown, we saw these two. At the end of their tag team matchup, they just completely broke down into a brawl, leading up the ramp at the end of the program. And, I mean, that fight continued on for several minutes afterwards until finally security was able to break these two men apart. And that wasn't until they had already spilled out into the fans, into the crowd. I mean, it was just complete chaos at the end of the last episode of SmackDown. And, well, there's no... You know, there have been instances where we've had multi-man matches. You know, there have been other superstars getting involved, getting themselves in the mix. But tonight, there is no Wade Barrett, there is no Randy Orton, there is no Roman Reigns. It's just straight up one-on-one CM Punk versus Sheamus tonight. And hopefully we can finally get a decisive conclusion out of this one. And just a bit of history for you all. At this time last year, at the Over the Limit pay-per-view, CM Punk, he was also in the main event once again, defending the WWE Championship against Brock Lesnar. Whereas Sheamus, it was a successful event for CM Punk, and for Sheamus as well, because he won back the World Heavyweight Championship in a triple threat match against Alberto Del Rio and Daniel Bryan. So, Over the Limit is a very successful event for both of these two men. So, it's very fitting that we would see these two main eventing the second edition of the Over the Limit pay-per-view here in WWE 2K15 Universe Mode, as this matchup will get underway. Punk and Sheamus locking it up here. Nice counter there by Punk as he ducks behind. A little bit of chain wrestling to start this one off as CM Punk drops Barrett down to the mat here. Has him in a nice side headlock, and now a punch right to the skull of Sheamus. So yes, Over the Limit is a very successful event for both of these two superstars. But the question is, who is going to walk out the winner here tonight? I mean, CM Punk, he's been looking mighty impressive since coming over to SmackDown. And Sheamus as well this past month has, in my opinion, looked like one of the most dominant contenders in recent memory. I mean, Sheamus, he's just taking everybody out who steps in his way. So I'm very curious to see. I really think the momentum is even between these two competitors. So momentum isn't a huge factor in this one, as both competitors are looking very strong heading into this event. So I'm curious to see who will walk out the winner. Power bomb right there by Sheamus. So Sheamus, of course, he's going to be utilizing a more brawling, powerhouse sort of style. CM Punk going to try to utilize his technical ability, his speed, the ability to fly around that ring. So Sheamus, he's probably going to want to try to slow down the pace of this matchup, whereas Punk, he's going to want to try to keep this. He's going to want to quicken the pace and keep this a fast-moving matchup. As CM Punk now, after throwing Sheamus into the corner, delivers a nice knee to the skull, but Sheamus is back to his feet. Oh, and now a running STO, taking down Punk. So Sheamus, of course, Punk can brawl in his own right. That's true. He loves a good fight. Punk will fight anybody in that locker room. But when you're going up against a guy like Sheamus, I mean, pure strikes aren't really going to cut it, because if anything, they're just going to fire this man up. I mean, he is a brawler, much like Wade Barrett. So Punk is fighting a very similar opponent here tonight. Sheamus, he's also a brawler. If you try to beat him in a battle of strikes, well, you're probably not going to win that fight, because you're just going to only end up firing Sheamus up, and you certainly don't want to do that. CM Punk, although, you know, like I said, he can fight, he's going to want to try to be more technical about it. Go for some submission holds, perhaps some dives off the top rope, springboards. You know, do what he can. But CM Punk, then again, he is a bit thick-skulled, so I'm sure he doesn't even care about Sheamus' style. He might just go at him He might just throw punches left and right anyway, because that's just how CM Punk is. He can scrap, he can fight if he needs to, as he delivers a knee right to the gut of Sheamus. So Punk taking the advantage early on in this one, going to the top rope here, looking to perhaps use my strategy to full effect. Oh no, Punk actually saw Sheamus was getting out of position, so he changed his mind, had to switch up his game plan a little bit. And now look at this, Shining Wizard right to the skull, and now a clothesline, taking down the Celtic Warrior, but Sheamus is right back up to his feet. And this is just what I was talking about. You don't want to fire this man up. Counter, though, by Punk, with a nice elbow to the face of Sheamus. And Punk now sends Sheamus off the ropes, catapults him into the air. And look at this, all CM Punk. He's got Sheamus caught, looking for the go to sleep. The GTS connects. Punk hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. That is it, folks. Just like that, CM Punk has put away Sheamus. Well, that was a quicker matchup than I was expecting it to be, but then again, it only takes 3 seconds to win a matchup, and if you catch your opponent off guard like that, then, I mean, the more power to you. So Sheamus, you know, he has been working for a long time to get back to the top, but it appears as though tonight it's not Sheamus's time. It's not his night tonight. Because CM Punk, you know, it was a hard-fought battle, and he remains the WWE Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for watching this Over the Limit pay-per-view event. I hope you enjoyed this event in its entirety. I hope you stuck it out for the whole video, but if not, even if you just checked out a couple matches, I hope you found something to your liking. Make sure to stay tuned for the next episode of WWE 2K15 Universe Mode, and as always, keep on YouTubing.